I'm glad to see you because
I'm muted, but yes.
okay, baby, this is good. I'd been concerned because there was so much difficulty with the Healing Story Alliance, trying to get you connected with that, and I still have a plan to record a storytelling session that people will be able to get a hold of, but trying to coordinate my busy life with the people in the alliance. It's just been
Don't worry
too much.
about it.
Okay, but I'm glad to see you. And Tanya, can you unmute Tanya so I can talk to her? Woo! Tanya,
You like?
what is going on? Woo! Woo! That's all right, Tanya. You don't have to talk.
Muted her. She has a lot of static. Hi, Tanya.
Wow. Wow. Tanya, I have your document and it's on my list of things to get to. And that's our honor, right?
Yes,
Hi,
it is.
Anna. I believe you and I have a date tomorrow, right? Okay. So are there other people on this Zoom who I have not met who can say their name or introduce themselves without blowing my ears out with static?
Well, I can. I don't know if people can hear me.
I hear you. What's your name? Who is this?
My name is Tokwe Adifarakan, and I'm joining you from Toronto, Canada.
Ah, okay. I plan to be in Toronto
Great.
in November, right around the same time as the Parliament on World Religions is occurring.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I'll keep people posted about that. That's in the works.
Oh, great. I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, thank you for introducing yourself. Who else is here?
Hi, this is Danielle. I'm joining from Oakland, California.
Ah, okay. Okay, how are things in Oakland, baby?
Oakland is fine. I live in Oakland, but I'm still in the Bay Area. I just kind of pulled over. I'm on the phone line.
Okay, but you're not driving while you're doing this.
Oh no.
Okay.
I set aside time, so I'm by the water. So.
Okay, that's a good choice. I am two things. One, I'm concerned about the wildfires in California right now. I know that Mendocino is on fire, but are San Francisco and the East Bay in danger?
No, it hasn't affected. It maybe just in the air quality, but so far it hasn't affected too much.
Okay.
Or at least, yeah, where I live.
Okay. And I don't want to speak too soon, but there's a possibility that if I could get everything coordinated, I may be in the Bay Area the first week of October because there's a program for the Orishas in the works for the 4th, and there's in the works a shamanism conference that first week. So I'm looking at trying to put it together because I wanna be in the Bay as often as I possibly can. As often as I possibly can. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Okay, thank you. Who else is here who'd like to introduce themselves?
Yeah, it's Judith Kate. Glad to be able to be here.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
I got your last email, and it sounds like you trying to come out of overwhelm, huh?
Absolutely. Seems like very good timing that you're offering this. So
Right? Yes.
eyes and ears and heart wide open.
Yes, 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 indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, it's good to hear from you. I know that for the other people who don't know Judith Kate, she is an amazing musician, a songstress, songwriter with an abundance of compassion, and who has been heading a project of doing song workshops with senior citizens in various housing projects around the country. And so um, we've had some wonderful, wonderful sessions, and I'm looking forward to more work being done in this respect. So this is the kind of thing that keeps us human, you know.
Yeah, and for everybody to know that you have been an instrumental advisor to this project.
Yeah, loving it, loving every minute of it, every minute of it. Okay, and kiss your husband for me when you get a chance. Who else is here? Anybody else want to introduce themselves? Okay. The first thing I want everybody to do is take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Get comfortable in your seat. Take another deep breath and let it out slowly. And on this third deep breath, when you exhale, I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. To your body, into your seat. Feel the energy of the heavens, the stars, the planets, the asteroids. Feel the warmth of the sun and the cool of the moon, and all the celestial energies falling down like stardust, coming down, down, penetrating every material thing so that it can shower down upon you. And let that starlight move from head to toe, enveloping you in an oval of light. Take a deep breath and feel the protection that this oval of light provides. Feel the energy that this oval of light provides. Feel the inspiration. And as you are sitting here breathing deeply, Feel the energy that is beneath your feet. Feel the earth and that which is beneath the surface of the earth. And bring that energy up so that it enters your body from feet to head, polishing your bones, soothing your nerves, cleaning your internal organs, moving through the blood in your veins, the air in your lungs. Feel it lengthening and strengthening your muscles, aligning your posture, moisturizing your skin. And let that energy of the earth and that energy of the heavens come together so that you are strengthened and protected, so that you are supported and inspired, so that you are empowered. And see yourself standing now on a straight road, a path, if you will, a path that is well lit and moving ahead of you. There is the light of the heavens emanating like a beacon from your third eye, which we call Iwaju, the eye of character. And the vision from this third eye lights the path in front of you. But without turning around, there is behind you a shadow cast that only represents your past. Attach no negative thought to it, but simply accept that that shadow represents all that you have done in the past, whether you regarded it as success or failure, as good or bad, as pleasure or pain. It is simply a demonstration of your ability to create up to this point. Take a deep breath and consider where you stand now. What is going on in your life now? How do you feel now? What are you doing now? What is your energy level now? Take a deep breath and give praise and thanks for all that you are right now, knowing that you hold your creative energy within you, supported by the earth, protected by the heavens, full and strong. Now. And turn the light on in your third eye as you light the path I'm going to ask you to lift your left foot and take a step forward with it being joined by your right. Take a deep breath and lift your right foot. Take a step and let it be joined by your left. Take another deep breath and step forward. Exhale. Take another deep breath and step forward on this well-lit path. And in front of you now, you are on the arm of a Y-shaped crossroads. One road leads to the left, and one road leads to the right. Take a deep breath, and in this moment, I only ask that you look to the left and feel what you feel. Now look straight ahead. Take a deep breath and look to the right and feel what you feel. Now you have a choice. Will you step to the left or will you step to the right? Stand right here in the crossroads and allow yourself to feel the power of the choice to change something. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Take another deep breath and let it out slowly. And on the third deep breath, open your eyes. Okay. Today, I want to recount for you one of the very, very important beautiful folk tales about the deity Elegba. Baba oh baby tididi lona, eshu tididi. 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 We are singing in that song, asking Elegba to take his obe, his knife, and tididi, cut Lona, open a path for us. Baba oh baby tididi Lona, eshu tididi. Lona, Ona is the road of life. The obe is the big knife that we use in ritual work. Okay. So the first thing I want to share with you is a very, very famous story about Alegba and the two friends. There were two friends who had been friends all their life, who had always had the same opinions, always worked and played together, shared everything, and they both had a farm. And one man's farm was on the left, and the other man's farm was on the right of a road that ran straight down between the two. And one morning they were out working on their farm and saying, "Hey neighbor, how you doing? Good to see you, my brother," so on and so forth. And there came somebody walking from west to east, a little man wearing a hat. And the man on the left said, "Oh, my brother, did you see the little fella who just went past us in the red hat?" And the man on the right said, "Well, yeah, I saw him, but he was wearing a black hat." And they said, "No, it was a red hat." "Well, no, it was a black hat." And they went on about their work. And when they looked up again, this same little man was walking from west to east again. And as he went past them, the man on the left said, "You know, brother, I think you were right. His hat was red." And the man on the right said, "No, brother on the left, you're correct. His hat was black." And one said to the other, "Well, no, I'm trying to agree with you, but you're wrong." And the other one said, "I'm trying to agree with you, but you're wrong." And he said, "Oh, well, you know." And they went on with their work. Way after a while, they saw this same little man walking from west to east. And the man on the left said, "I'm telling you, his hat is black. Not red, but black." And the man on the right said, "You are definitely wrong. That hat is not black, it is blue." "What's the matter with you? Are you colorblind? Can't you see what color it is?" "Yeah, I can see, but you're the one who's been blind. You've been blind all your life." "What do you mean I've been blind all my life? I'm the one who could always see clearly when you were so confused." "What do you mean I'm so confused? All our life I've struggled to straighten things out for you, blah, 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 blah." And soon, the two lifetime friends were fighting. They were yelling at each other across the road and threatening one to the other to cross over and come into the other's field, fight. And just then, as they started to step into the road to fight, the little man came walking east to west, and he stopped in front of them, and he spun around 3 times so that they could see that his hat was red, black, and blue. And he laughed, and he laughed, and he laughed, and he walked on. The two men realized their mistake. They realized the limitations of their perception, and they realized that they had exposed hidden attitudes that they had about each other for years. And so they made a promise to speak honestly to themselves and to each other. And that promise led to them exchanging goods from one farm to the other. And eventually, that understanding provided a way for that road for both of them to move down that road toward a better future. I want you to take a deep breath now, because you are standing in the crossroads in the hands of a legba. We find ourselves at a crossroads when our evaluation of what has been says that it's time for a change. And change is a word that scares a lot of us, because in this culture, we most often think of change as going from good to bad or bad to worse. That's why we fear it. But what about those times when change means you go from bad to fair and fair to better and better to best? We don't have a lot of examples of that, especially not in our culture, in our country right now. But let us consider who and what a legba is. First of all, a legba has often been called the trickster, a shapeshifter, a clown, and a fool. And all of these are correct, because he tricks you into a different perspective. Now, maybe some of you have had the experience of being in a place where you need to make a decision. And when your rational mind considers it, you have 6 in this hand and a half dozen in the other. Okay? And you look at it and you say, I have a choice between going to school, and if I go to school, blah, 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 blah could happen, or going to work. And if I go to work, blah, 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 could happen. Okay? And you look at them, and they seem to be of equal value, of equal challenge, with an equal opportunity to succeed or fail. And then out of the blue, shall I go to work or shall I go to school? I wasted ketchup on my dress. I guess I'll go to work. Something that is seemingly unrelated to the question being contemplated happens, and it causes you to make a choice. When this happens, we say that a legba has kicked you out of the crossroads of indecision. One of the things that we suffer of in Western culture is paralysis by analysis. We are so afraid of failing that we will analyze everything until we can't do nothing, because we've done the wrong thing so many times, we think. Don't judge that shadow behind you right now. It's over and done. There's material there, but today we're standing in the crossroads. The other thing that we say about a legba is he helps us to bring earth, air, fire, and water together in new combinations. And again, we think that creativity and new ideas come from conscious deliberation, clear inquiry all the time, right? But that's not totally true because, you know, what we say is one day a storekeeper named Mr. Reese was carrying a sack of flour through his old general store. And he had a couple of bars of chocolate sitting on the counter. And as he walked by, the sack of flour hit a bar of chocolate and it fell in the peanut butter barrel. And Mr. Reese picked up the piece of chocolate with the peanut butter on it and he tasted it and said, this is interesting. And Reese's peanut butter cup was born. What we think of as accident, and sometimes what we think of as mistake, mistake, is actually a leg by trying to say, look over here, look there, this is different. Okay. We say that our perception interprets the reality that is around us. Material reality is subject to our interpretation of it. So, you know, many years ago, me and a Yemaya priestess went down to Alameda Beach to make an offering. It was the same day and the same hour at the same beach in the same place. We both brought the same offering. We stood there, we did the same invocation. We sang the same song, and we both stood there and waited for the ocean to tell us something. And as small waves came in, there came a point where the sole of a shoe came in on a wave and landed right between us. And I looked down and said, And at the same time, she said, ooh. Now, without going any further, if I said, and she said, ooh, you can already hear in our utterances that there are two different perspectives looking at the same material reality. And I said to her, I said, you know, when the sole of that shoe rolled up between us, I understood Yemaya was saying that she was going to clean our path. And she said to me, I wondered, where's the body? Where's the body? So in her perception, somebody's drowned, or somebody's been killed, or somebody's naked, or somebody's lost the shoe, but not who lost a shoe. Where's the body? I'm thinking about guidance. She's thinking about death. We're both looking at the same thing. I need you to take that in, because that is at work every day in our perception of reality. Elegba is the linguist of the deities. You know, and at a time now where we're living at a time where lying is becoming a second nature device, where people can propose marriage and break up relationships in a text, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry with an opinion can do a YouTube video and influence other people. Language and what we do with it becomes very, very important. The Yoruba proverb says, what goes in the ear goes in the head and comes out through the eyes. Those of you who would like to know more about the physiological aspects of this, you know, we start here with the eye of character, and when we're blessing our head, and we move to the top of our head, Ori, which is where universal energy comes in, and we go down to the back of our necks, where Eshu Niapako, the trickster who's a troublemaker, is said to live. But there is a book you might want to get. It's called Write It Down, Make It Happen by, I think her name is Henrietta Claw. Henrietta. It's a very, very good book. And she explains a thing called the reticular activation system, which is a coordination between parts of the brain and how we perceive things, what we see, how we can make a mistake. How is it that there can be an accident and 10 different people will give 7 different interpretations of what happened there? Okay. If we continue with this line of questioning, we can begin to question, what is reality? What is society based on? What is history? What is truly sacred? And what on earth can I do? What on earth can I do? For today, what I want you to do is stand in that crossroads that we have arrived at, okay? And I want you to make a choice to walk to the left or to the right. Take a few moments right now. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. And return to that place in the crossroads. Relax in that place, knowing that in this moment you are powerful. You have a long history of creative ability. You are powerful. You are supported. You are protected. And I want you to lift your foot and step either to the left or to the right. Step out of the crossroads and take a step in the direction that you want to go in. Look around. Who and what do you see? Are you looking at a red hat or a black one? Take another step. Look around. See what you are doing. Feel how it feels. Take another step. and look around. Who is there with you? What are you all doing? How does it feel? Arrive at the furthest most point of the direction that you have taken. Is the hat black or is it red? Is the place that you've arrived at pleasant or is it a challenge? Are you comfortable there? Is it beautiful there? Take a moment and spend some time there. And now at the outermost edge of the choice that you have made, from this same place, this place where you have arrived, I want you to turn slightly to the right if you went left, and slightly to the left if you went right. And take a step, and take a step, and take another step, so that you now have made half of a diamond shape on the right and on the left, and join that entity who went in the other direction. The left person and the right person meet in the new center that they have now formed a triangle. And feel yourself standing there with your left self joined with your right, or your right self joined with your left. Feel the power of that choice, and feel the power of that which you did not choose. Let them come together in you. Make sure that your light is on. And as you look at the road ahead of you, I ask you to see Elegba dancing and spinning in front of you, turning and turning so that you can see that his hat is red, his hat is black, his hat is blue, and he is cutting a path open before you. Baba oh baby tididi lona, eshu tididi. 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 Arrive in a place of light. Take a look at where you are and how you feel. And when you are ready, open your eyes. I want everybody to be very, very relaxed and feel welcome to share whatever you experienced during this visualization. I would like for you to keep in mind that we have an eclipse that we have a Leo moon where the sun and the moon come together, and we have a great opportunity to gird up our courage to move forward. Okay. So, you started out in a crossroads, and the conscious part of you chose to go to the left or to the right. If you chose to go one way consciously, that part of you that is subconscious and unconscious chose to go the other way. And the two parts of yourself meet again after having reached the end of the choice. And now you come back together and reintegrate both your choice and your not choice, or your choice and your accident, or that which you was consciously thinking of and that which you were not consciously thinking of, and that which is in the light and that which is in the shadow. So now those pieces of you have come back together and are about integrating on the path that you have chosen. Is there anybody who had an experience or a vision or a sensation during this exercise that they would like to share? I need a volunteer. Who's talking?
Ana Huertas Concepcion.
Okay.
I just want to share that as I was contemplating what the left and the right were for me, it seemed like I was like, I want the left, but I know I'm choosing the right. If the right feels just what I'm going to choose, the right feels just like me. And when you said take a step, I went to the left. And I was like, whoa, I thought my head was saying, you're going to the right, but my imaginary self kept walking to the left.
Anna, I want you to clap. Listen to me. Clap for yourself.
Woohoo!
Clap for yourself, because knowing you from other classes, what you just did was allowed your intellect to surrender to your spirit. And we know this is a battle you've been having for a while, right?
Yeah, maybe since I was born.
But here's the wonderful thing about it.
It's 16 hours.
Now you know the exercise to do to get yourself out of the crossroads. Because see, those of you who don't know Anna, she's in another class that I do. And what happens, Anna, is you argue with you about whether the hat is red or black.
Yeah.
All the time, right?
All the time.
All the time, right? And see, an exercise like this, you just, when you went to the left, you said, huh, ooh. You didn't say, oh, right? You said, oh, that's interesting. I thought I should go to the right, but my feet took me to the left. And you followed the path that a leg by put you on. Now, how did you feel walking on that left path?
It just that both of the roads had wonderful things, and both of them you had to sacrifice something. That was my mind telling me, both of them. But then when we went to the diamond shape, what I felt was like you didn't even have to, because you could just get in the car and go to the right once in a while. But you don't have to choose. It doesn't have to be so dramatic.
Exactly. 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 And when you got to where the roads converge, that's what you did. You integrated the left and the right so that you could see the whole of yourself. You see, every time we say yes to something, we are automatically saying no to something else. And that something else just crawls in a corner or, hides in the shadow, but it's still energy. It does not disappear. You see what I'm saying? So, those times, Anna, when your head is so busy arguing with your heart, you need to go sit with a leg back. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, because we're always afraid of trickery. But I'm gonna say something in a minute that's probably gonna pluck some people's nerves. But thanks for sharing.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Can I hear from another person?
Alafia Yeye.
Thank you.
This is Ia Bega. Ia
Whoa,
Ori Bega.
Oribega. Yes, I owe you an email and a phone conversation today.
Looking forward
Welcome.
to it.
Mhm.
Well, I know you know the situation I'm kind of in right now. New things have happened. And so during the exercise, I imagined the left side as being feminine, being very abundant, almost jungle type situation. The right side was very kind of barren, very sunshiny, but nothing growing.
Right.
And I chose, and also very male oriented, if you will.
Yep.
And I chose the left. That's where my heart is, I think. But I thought I had to give up on the other side. I know there's the logic and all the things that happen on the male side. So I thought I was giving that up. But when coming to the middle, coming to the end of that road, I saw Wakanda.
Yeah,
That
okay.
is the joy of my heart, is Wakanda.
All right.
And then having to step those 3 steps towards the left and kind of re-embracing that logical, scientific, intellectual side made me feel a little better, because I thought I was giving up that piece just for the purity of intuition. So I was very happy at that, and I feel a lot more balanced with that. So that's working for me right now.
Yes. The important word there that you used is balance.
Yes.
When you come back together at the top of that diamond, and those of you who know anything about Haitian veves and insignia, you'll see that the veves for Elegba and Dambala and many of the deities have the diamond shape in it. And the beautiful thing about the diamond shape is that it is 2 triangles, right? One pointing to heaven and one pointing down to earth, which is equal focus, receiving equal energy from both heaven and earth, which is how we started this visualization out. So yes, if you don't mind me just saying, for the benefit of other people, excuse me, Iya Oribega has just gone through a major initiation in our tradition, which also puts her in my hands.
Oh boy.
She's been relegated to my family, which is enough to scare anybody.
That's okay.
So it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And yes, classically, what Iya is describing is, typically the journey to the left is the feminine, is regarded as the feminine, and the journey to the right is regarded as the masculine. Now, what that looks like for each of us may be different. Hers was very earthbound with the rainforest over here, and maybe, you know, an open path, or even sometimes a building, a skyscraper or something. Your symbol system, your own symbol system will tell you what's going on, but what is important is paying attention to what feels right first,
Yes.
and then subjecting it to intellectual scrutiny.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's what's important. That's
Yes.
what's important.
And we will talk later about something about that.
Yes, we will, baby. Yes, we will. Is Felicia here?
I am.
Okay, so Felicia, you know that I've been trying to figure out when I can get to the East Coast to bring you your Legba. And I also have some information for you from the Oyatrix in Oakland regarding your aspirations for ancestor rituals. So how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. That sounded real nice. When I meditate and I hear like Oya music, I get like really, like the energy is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you said that the Oya priestess has information for me, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful. Yes, indeed. Yes, she has some information. She has some information. So you looking good, Felicia.
Oh, thank you.
Looking real good. So how was the exercise for you, the visualization?
The exercise, it was interesting. So for me, I felt a lot of energy on the left side, but I was more compelled to go to the right side. So I went to the right side when it was time to go. And then as I got to the point in on the right side, even before you said to turn and go left, I was already going left.
Yeah, it's the natural thing to do.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm here. All right, so let's go left now and see what's down this road.
What did you see when you were on the right?
So for me the left was really bright and shiny, and the right was dark. So although it was dark, I wasn't afraid. I still went down that road. And as I got to the end of the darkness, it became light.
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very good. Okay, so what do you think that means? That you had that experience?
That's things that I know that I need to explore more. Like Rosanna said, more of the masculine aspects of myself and the way that I make decisions. Well, I used to be real, I used to try to avoid confrontation and, compromise, and that hasn't really worked out well for me. So I'm, facing things that I'm afraid of more.
Right. Okay. And so the word that you want is you chose that in order to cultivate courage. In order to cultivate courage, which is an important word with this Leo moon. You know, the word courage has at its core a word that means heart. That's why we say somebody is courageous. We call them Braveheart, right? And we associate courage with strength. And when we say somebody is strong, we say that they are hardy, you know. when a person is afraid, they get heart palpitations, you know. So I actually would say to you that you want to do some deep breathing. You want to, you know, measure what is going on in your heart. What is it that you are afraid of? And face it, because you came out smelling like roses on the other end. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And what's really wonderful about it is that I'm trying to remember. I have the notes on which road of the leg back came up for you, and I'll be bringing you that information. But you know, you can Baba Obebe Kidili Lona, you can send that energy of choice and decision in front of you with a blade to clear the path. You know, the thing that is difficult for some people is they are afraid to change. Therefore, they are afraid to decide. Therefore, they stand in the crossroads and stagnate, which then forces a leg bar to kick them where it hurts. This will not be your problem, please. Right?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You know, because you can return to that place. You can walk to the right. You know that you can walk through it. You can send the leg by in front of you with a blade. You can send the leg by in front of you with a blade. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem. No problem.
I saw that Gail has joined us. Iyakawo Bemi, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Alafia iya.
Alafia, boy, yeah.
Amoya Boshike. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Right
Doing
on.
good. Thank you. This is so right on time. This is whoa right on time.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, this Leo moon has got us.
Mm-hmm.
This Leo moon, you know, you're gonna have to, with this Leo moon, we have to girt up our courage. We have to increase our self-esteem. And for some of us, we will roar loudly. Some of us will roar loudly after we come out of the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shadow can be very, very scary. I was explaining to, I think it was Selena the other day, that I think of myself as a brave person. You know, I think I'm courageous. I think I stand up to stuff most of the time. I think I'm fair. I think that, and while I don't tend to run from a fight, you know, I have recognized that there's a different kind of fear that I'm experiencing here in Georgia, which is that of being misunderstood.
Mm.
That of being misunderstood. Selena and I just came out of Sam's Club, you know, where you buy 80 rolls of toilet paper, right? And 100 rolls of whatever. And I had all of this stuff I'm in one of those mobile carts that move so slow, it's like a snail. But I've got all of this stuff piled up, and we get to to the front where the person looks at your receipt, and they're supposed to be able to tell whether or not you stole something. I got stuff piled up to here, right? She can't even see my face. There's stuff up under the scooter and all of that, all of which I paid for. And this poor woman is looking at the receipt, trying to see if she can see everything that I've got. Some things are this big, and a bottle of vitamin D that's this small, you know. So I know that the effort is futile, right? But being me, I saw her looking at all the stuff that I had, and I smiled and I said, well, I hope I don't have to see you again for 6 months. Right? And you see, you laugh. Everybody here is laughing, right? But the look on her face, she said, well, it's all right if you don't. And I thought, oh my God. Oh my God. Right? And I started reviewing the fact that nobody here understands my sense of humor, first of all. Item number 2, me and the people that I hang out with, we're all people who love our work, okay? And I have to recognize that I'm dealing with people who hate their job. And
Probably.
I'm part of a problem that they have, right? And I mean, and just a whole bunch of other little things that make me feel like an alien. I mean, you know, the other day I was in this restaurant and I ordered this chicken dish with rice and beans and salad and so on and so forth. And I said I wanted a chicken breast. Now, when I say a roasted chicken breast, there is an image that comes into each and every one of you mind. Everybody has an image of what that is. Is there anybody among you who imagined a piece of chicken that had been pounded until it was flatter than a pancake?
No.
No. When they laid the plate in front of me, it was like, okay, Tish, okay, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, okay? And so I realized that I have been encountering a degree of this almost daily in almost everything. And I found myself, and I think Marsha will bear me up with this, I found myself saying to my friends, you know, being in Atlanta is the quietest I've ever been. I don't really talk to people. I don't really go nowhere. I'm not really involved in anything. And I think, you know, today it became clear that I'm afraid of being misunderstood. I am afraid of being misunderstood. Now, that's a small thing compared to worried about whether or not a nuclear bomb is going to fall on me, but that was being pushed in the shadow. And I did not realize that I was being afraid. I want to point something, I want to use myself as an example around the danger in the process of not recognizing the shadow, okay? I pride myself on being community oriented, on being communicative, on, you know, I like people, I like talking, I'm dramatic and all of that kind of stuff. So since I've been here, I sort of been pressing down, and not really realizing it or calling it adjusting or whatever. And then there came that day in the clinic, in the elder clinic, when a woman sitting across from me started talking, and everything that she said was so judgmental, nonsensical, offensive, etc., and nonstop blurting at me for like 4 minutes, that there came a moment when she looked at me and she was getting ready to ask me to talk. And I said, "Where's the bathroom?" And I jumped up and I ran to the bathroom and I hid in the bathroom like a child, peeping through the door. And I did not come out until I saw them take her to the back. I want you to imagine me hiding in the bathroom like a kindergarten kid, okay? That was Teish the coward running from what was bound to be a confrontation, a clash of ideas and attitudes, right? And I actually realized that I was ashamed of that behavior and kept it quiet for a long time until I admitted it and said it to another friend, and she said, "Oh, no, 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 no." She said, "No, no, Yeye, wait a minute. The cognitive dissonance is so strong these days that was a survival move. You knew that a conversation with her would be an attack on your consciousness, and you moved out of harm's way." You moved out of harm's way. Now, what goes in the ear goes in the head, which is why a legba as the linguist is important. This is why when we are taught to do affirmations, we don't do negative affirmations. You don't say, "Holy Spirit, I don't want." Okay? You know, this is why the Egyptians had the 42 negative confessions. I have not committed this. I have not done that. How we address ourselves and how we address others is a shift in perception that is under a legba's guidance. I want us to think about what it is to be in the crossroads, contemplating the word. What is the next word that you are going to say to your own consciousness at the moment of decision? Is the next word success or failure? Is it or ooh? You know, listen to what your own ori, your own consciousness is saying to you, as well as what others, including the culture and the government, are saying to you when you're standing in that crossroads. You know, let the first word, when you lift up your foot and get ready to take that first step, let the first word be grace. Let the first word be blessing. Let the first word be assistance. Let the first word be protection. Let the first word be stability. Let the first word be a positive when you get ready to step forward. Can I hear from somebody else?
Dr. Topway.
Uh-huh. Am I meeting you for the first time? I can't hear her.
Yes, I'm the one that's from Toronto.
Okay,
Yes.
baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my experience was somewhat similar to Felicia's. I felt a strong pull in terms of moving to the left, knowing that the left was brighter, knowing that the left was the feminine, but moved to the right. And but then what I saw when I was in the right was an affirmation. It was an affirmation that then got affirmed when I went to the left. So it was somewhat of an integration, and what I remember thinking and feeling is Sankofa, like a return.
Yes.
A return. So when I went to the right, I saw red, I saw black, and I saw blue.
I say.
And interestingly, the tension is a long-standing one, and it presented itself while doing this visualization, and I was tempted to respond to it, but I didn't. And what I mean by that is the tension with respect to my spiritual beliefs. I was born in, both of my parents are Yoruba. I was born in Yoruba land, and but most of you likely know this, many Yoruba, most Yoruba, if they don't identify as Christian, they identify as Muslim. And so my desire and wish to return to the indigenous Yoruba spirituality is produces quite a tension between my mother and myself. Mostly my mother, and she called twice when we were doing this exercise.
Our intuition is working. That girl up to something. She up to something.
She called twice, and I got a little nervous. I thought, oh, is there an emergency? I hope everything's okay. I didn't pick up the phone, but I did listen to the first message, and she was just calling to say hi. So when I went back to the left, I saw brightness. And I felt that it was okay, like because I have been quite isolated, and was wondering what this latest feeling and wondering what these latest signs I've been getting mean. And what I mean by that is my ileke on my right hand, it broke about a month ago, and I just didn't know what to chalk that up to. I also lost my smudge bowl a couple months ago when I was by the river doing an offering, and didn't notice it until later on. So I've been wondering what this means, if this is some form of, sign that, that affirms that my mom, is her wish for me is that I be a Christian, and I've been struggling with it, but in my heart there hasn't been any struggle, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah.
If there hasn't been any struggle, and I know what my Ori, what my destiny is in terms of my spiritual beliefs. So it was very much an affirmation and a return for me. And so seeing the red and the black and the blue, and then going back to the left and seeing the light helps me to feel settled.
Okay, now let me tell you what I hear. This is very interesting. You and your mama are women of equal power. You and your mama are women of equal power, okay? From your point of view, you sent out a signal to bring to you your challenge that you stood up to at this time. It's like, okay, I need a test. I need a test to prove to myself that I'm really doing this. And your mother, whether she can articulate it in these words or not, she gets the signal. That girl testing what I taught her. I used to go through this with my mama all the time. Okay. That girl testing what I taught her. Okay. And so y'all met in the crossroads. Okay. You know your Ori. She knows hers, right?
Yes.
The thing that happens is when the elder does not recognize that the next generation is a departure from where they were, but still connected, you know, to where they were. I used to go through that with my mama. She was so psychically in tune with me that I remember way back in college, I was laying up in the bed with my favorite man, and the phone rang. And when I picked up the phone, my mama said, "You see that shit you doing right now? You need to get him out of there because your daddy's on his way to your house." I was in Portland, Oregon, and she was in New Orleans.
Wow.
And there were other times when my mama called and said, "Lock your door, there's somebody lurking around outside." And there was, okay? So your mother's intuition is on, and you've got it equally. Now, what you can do to help her is on a spiritual level, when you start sitting at your shrine, you can send her the message that she can take it easy and not worry about you. Send her the message that you are right, you see, because what I had to do with my mom at one point, when she was very upset with me, I said to her point blank, I said, "So you always told me that you didn't raise no freaks or no fools. So I know what I'm doing because you did." And that backed her all the way up off of me. If I'm a fool, it's because you raised one. And that backed her, because my mama's a triple Aries, so that worked with her, you know, challenging her. And I'm an Aries Taurus, so we went like that.
Yeah.
And that worked. Okay. My other concern is, you said your E-Day busted?
My Eleke busted at work.
Which one was it? For which Ori?
It was for Legba.
Ah! Woo! Oh,
green and red.
Okay, baby. So, you know, our elekes are designed to absorb negativity.
Oh, wow.
That is coming our way. Beside identifying the deity and identifying the house that you belong to, they're also designed to absorb energy. Okay. So, you know, if you are near your elder and you can get another one, fine. If you do you have any of the beads left?
No, I do. I pick them up and I wash them in river water. I'll show you.
Okay,
they're
good.
still soaking in that, but I haven't put them back together.
Right. Okay.
On my altar.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, yeah, you're on point. You're on point. And what I would say to you is, remember what you were thinking about when they busted.
Okay.
You know, just remember, because there's a message for you there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You just send your mama the message that she ain't supposed to be worried about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
my goodness. So here's what is there anybody else who wanted to share before I start talking again?
There's no one else in the queue. If anyone else would like to share, please speak up now.
Okay, then. So here's what I want to say. Number one, the visualization and the exercise that we just did is at your disposal to be used anytime. What is important is to bring down the energy of the heavens and bring up the energy of the earth so that you have the two triangles, and this is the earth line, right? You know, make sure that you are saturated and covered, right? And then you can take yourself on this same journey that we went on, remembering the story, like all of the Odus and all of the Apatakis have great meaning that is applicable to your life when you subject it to mythosynthesis. It simply means that you look at the components of the story, you identify with different components of the story, you move through it, and check how you feel. What you feel comes first before what you think. Let your intuition lead you and make your intellect the servant of your intuition. Okay. And always know, no matter which path you choose, to bring yourself back to center. That became very, very clear to me when I was traveling in Hawaii. And I was on this road and I came to a definite Y fork. And I said, oh my God, if I go to the left, I'm headed toward the ocean. And if I go to the right, I'm headed toward the volcano. And nobody had given me directions on how to get where I was going. They just said, you know, come on down the road. And so I'm sitting there in a landscape that I don't really know at a wide crossroad. And I said, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And so when you don't know what to do, don't do anything for a minute. Take some deep breaths, ask for spiritual assistance, and then see what comes to you. So I sat there in the car and I sang to Alegba. When I sang to Alegba, the wind started blowing. And you know, Hawaii and most tropical places have these plants with the great big heart-shaped leaves, which showed up in Wakanda and is a very important shape in the rainforest. And the wind started blowing. And when the wind started blowing, there was a little sign, a little square on a stick stuck right there. And the sign said, both roads lead to the center of town. Both roads lead to the center of town. And at that moment, I said to myself, I said, okay, here is my invocation to Alegba. Whenever I am stuck, I ask you that no matter which choice I make, the right one or the wrong one, that you redirect me back to center. Redirect me back to center. And this is where humility comes in, okay? Because sometimes we count so much on intellect, which we've been expected to do, and we make out a plan, and we adopt an attitude, and we take a position, and we come encrusted, stagnated, arguing with the parts of ourselves about red or black, violently arguing with ourselves until the trick of perception is played on you and you can see a third possibility. Okay. Now, when I was young and ignorant and arrogant, I used to say to people, Well, within the realm of possibility, there are at least three alternatives: yes, no, and fuck it. Right? I mean, that's the way I thought then. Now, after years of interaction, what I can say to you is that quantum physicists have found that in the overall order of the universe, there is a thing called chaos theory. There can be no order without some chaos. And whereas anthropologists used to say that Elegba is a trickster, is a clown, is the deity of the absurd, etc., we now know that Elegba is responding to some natural law that we do not understand, the law of chaos and the order that comes out of chaos when consciousness is applied, okay? So you only ever want to invoke for that which is yours by right of consciousness while you are constantly feeding your head and expanding your consciousness in order to expand your place in the universe. The At the Crossroads program is a 9-week program consisting of 9 lessons, videotaped lessons, right? Where I share cultural and spiritual information and give instructions for rituals that you can perform to help you with the crossroads that we are all in right now. The whole planet is in a crossroads, if you ask me, to say nothing of this country and our individual lives. And the way it works is you will view the videotape and then submit questions, and I will respond to those questions, right? They're self-paced. You can look at them. I would appreciate it if you could set it up so that you could do one each week in succession. But if your life lets you do session 1 and 2, and then there's weeks before you can do 3, that is not a problem. It just means that you will have access to a recording of the questions that people who talk to me every week, the questions that they pose and the responses that they got, okay? I want to tell you that how these videotapes came about. Years ago, I visited some young people at the University of Tallahassee. And, you know, I don't stay on top of all these new terms. I hear people talking all the time about folks being millennials, and I keep asking exactly what that means, and I get very different interpretations and so on and so forth. But I said something, I think at the time I said, well, you know, I've talked to people who are members of what they're calling Gen X, and one of the young women said, oh no, yeah, we're not Gen X, we're Gen Y. And I said, oh, well, what does that stand for? And she said, we don't know why we exist. We don't know why we exist. And it felt wrong on my ears because it wasn't the intellectual philosophical exercise that I did in philosophy class. I used to have a professor who would give us ridiculous axioms to consider. If you have an impenetrable force moving toward an immovable object, what happens when they meet? What is the difference between a philosopher and a theologian, and stuff like that? That was designed to, play with your mind. The way it was said, there was a bit of emotional desperation in it. We really don't know who we are. We don't know how to think. We don't know what to do. We really don't know why we are here. And so I made these 9 videotapes with exercises and information in it, primarily to address these young people. But as I started talking about it, I found, people in their 40s and 50s who said they knew their purpose at one time, but they felt like they had been, were now out of focus or now irrelevant or needed to start over and were afraid. And so I offer, this material as a way of helping us to step out of the crossroads and to accept that finding yourself in a crossroad is little more than a message from your spirit that it's time to grow. Take that in for a minute. Finding yourself in a crossroad is little more than a message from your spirit that it's time to grow. Shall I go to work or shall I go to school? Oh my God, I wasted ketchup on my dress. I guess I'll go to school. That happens to us over and over and over again. And sometimes we, hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes we can look back at it and make logical sense of it, but it's not logical at the moment that it happens. It's not logical. It's emotional. It is the force of change working through you. And when we learn not to fear it, when we learn to meet it, sometimes it can be very exciting. Sometimes it can be very invigorating. So I hope that you all will consider whether or not you have use for 9 weeks of transformational work that will help you to integrate the various aspects of yourself. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off? Any sensations or thoughts that you want to share?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm planning a festival of the bones.
Right on! Congratulations! Okay.
And it's very interesting how everything is coming together now. I mean, I'm in such a different space from when I started to now. It's like it's such a transformation. and the way how things come together through spirit and put it in the work is so beautiful and amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you have sense enough to listen. No, that's the real definition of humility. I tell people humility don't mean bowing and scraping and submitting to other people. The word humility comes from hummus, which means to keep your ear close to the earth. So I sit here and I say, well, I'm Luisah Teish and I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E. And then the leg by steps in and says, well, actually, you're going to do B, D, X, Z, hashtag.
Yes, and even though like I'm not finished with this, I've already received like other things that I need to work on, and I'm just like, wait, hold on. Let me finish this first, please. You're like, no, this is what you're gonna do, and then you're gonna do this, and then we're gonna give you some more. And I'm
That's
like,
right. That's right. You're on assignment.
yes.
Okay, you're getting the backing and the training. And let me tell you something, Felicia. I am 70 years old. I've been an Orisha priestess almost 40 years now, and an Ifa priestess almost 20 years, right? And a couple of months ago, I was belly aching about something that I wanted to do. And the Olokun priestess called me from California. She said, child, Yeye, I just want you to know I went down in the shrine, because my Yaya is at her house. I went down in the shrine room, honey, and I said good morning to Yemaya, and I went to give her something. She told me, tell her, show me why, that you are on, she said, Yemaya said, you are on assignment. And when your assignment is finished, you will be released. So don't be asking for nothing else. Completion. Don't be asking for nothing else. Now, I'm the person who's sitting here telling y'all about surrendering to spirit, right? But here comes my shadow confession, right? She said, well, in my head said, well, she said, Yemaya said that I won't be released until I have achieved completion on my assignment. So let me see. Since she ain't told me exactly what the assignment is, maybe if I get more information, this is my right brain talking, right? Maybe if I get more information, I can figure out how to short circuit this stuff. So I called a friend of mine who does Akashic records. And I asked for an Akashic record read. And she said, well, I'm reluctant to read you because you're my elder. I said, no, none of that applies now. I am the supplicant. Please read me, right? And I'm sitting here at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, if I think about such and such a thing, and she'd pick up on it, and she would say, you're thinking of blah, 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 and this is blah, blah, blah. So very carefully, with great stealth, I said in my mind, okay, so what about this completion thing? Didn't say it out loud. And she said to me, she said, I'm receiving information that you're concerned about completion. Completion is the word that comes to me, Yeye. She said, and what I get from the records is that when you're complete, you'll know. Okay? Now that translates into smart ass, you tried to get around, you tried to play tricks, and you get the same message. When you're done, turn the oven off, okay? The bell will ring, turn the oven off. Playing around with trickery is stepping into Elegba's domain. I'm going to be the trickster? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to, there's an element of trust when you lift that foot and put it down for the first time in that new direction. New directions are always scary, but scary and exciting are brothers and sisters. Congratulations, Felicia.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to send you the stuff from it when
Right
it happens.
on.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna figure out a way. You know, after y'all through being cold in New York, I'll figure out a way to come see you. I'm sorry I missed you when I was there earlier, but we couldn't connect.
Right.
And send me your address so I can mail you your Elegba.
Okay.
Okay. And do you have 3 keys that you don't use anymore?
You said keys?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Please pull them out and wash them because he's asking for them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, people.
So Yeye,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have 2 opportunities to share. You shared about your At the Crossroads course.
Oh, yes.
On the screen. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, y'all, I have such an amazing schedule that there's another lesson in here. I have the habit of complaining to Oshun that I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I'm bored, right? And then she throws so much stuff at me that I'm out on the road. I come home, I change a suitcase, I sleep for a day, and I'm back on the plane. There's a whole string of things, including you know, being in I'm going to be in Ohio. I'm going to be in Costa Rica with the Afrobotany conference. The 29th of, if you Google Afrobotany Conference Costa Rica, that's very, very exciting. It takes place in this amazing garden, and we learn all kinds of things about herbal remedies. And then in October, early October, I'm gonna be in the Bay Area with the Shamanic Conference. And then then later on in October, I'll be with Iya Oribega in Minnesota. And then in early November, I am in Toronto with the Parliament of World Religions. And then we have the healing retreat in Jamaica.
It's 17 hours.
If you are somebody who feels that you deserve, want, and need a healing retreat, please join us in Jamaica. Save your money now. Get your work out of the way. Let your family know you gonna be gone. This is for you. We gonna have ritual, fine food, beautiful music, workshops, and very, very importantly, time to just lay around and appreciate nature. Okay? Do you see day 2 here? How beautiful that is? Bathing in those beautiful waters. Okay? Bathing in those beautiful, beautiful waters. We've got meditations and new moon rituals and sensual self-care, party at the sunset. You know, I'll figure out what the different things are that people can and cannot drink or do and don't like. And we have all kinds of wonderful people and processes waiting to help you renew. Renewal is very, very important. I tell y'all honestly, when I come back from Jamaica, I think I'm just going to sleep the entire month of December. I think I will just sleep all of December because we have some more exciting things coming next year. We have the Jambalaya Spirit Works community. We have the Elegant Elders um, website and an anthology coming up. We've got Gems and Juice, and I'm planning to do a big ceremony for Shun in California in the spring. So, I would love to see you all in Jamaica in November. And I think we have early registration is coming up, right?
Yes, Yeye. So the registration, let me be clear, there are two opportunities, of course. There is the At the Crossroads course with the early bird registration until August 28th. And then there's the Jamaica Healing Retreat with early bird registration until the end of the month. And if a woman were interested to do both, really, I'm asking that you would email me at actually at yeyeluisah.com. And there is a way that you can receive a discount of $150 when you choose to do both of these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's truly an extraordinary opportunity. And we know for some people it's going to be difficult to choose. They will want to do both. And so, Yeye, you of course want to make it accessible. And so that discount will help.
That's right. That's right. Now, somebody just said, oh, but I can't leave my family for that long. Things will fall apart if I'm gone that long. It ain't true. It ain't true, y'all. I want you to think of this as not only a retreat for yourself, but an investment in the level of energy, the quality of energy that you're going to take into the new year with you. Something that comes to mind, I don't know if you all have seen it on YouTube or on Facebook. There's a little boy whose mother is in the hospital about to deliver a baby. And the little boy has his hands on his mama's belly and he's saying, but mama, you gotta come home because we need you. We need you, mommy. We need you. And she says, well, I'm coming home, but I have to have this baby first. And he says, yeah, baby, but we need you, mommy. We need you right now. And so mama has to have that baby before she can go home. Your Jamaica retreat is you rebirthing your own energy so that you can go home where you are needed and be in top form. Think of it that way, and it becomes an investment in the future. And we'll do everything we can to accommodate everybody who really wants to go. So, think about it, feel about it, check your pockets. Woo! Bye bye, oh baby, tiddy lona. Eshu tiddy. Bye bye, oh baby, tiddy lona. Eshu tiddy. Open the road. Bye bye, oh baby, tiddy lona. Eshu tiddy. I'm going, y'all. Baba oh baby tididi lona. Eshu tididi.